Welcome to Beholder's Eye, a 5th edition Dungeons & Dragons epic fantasy adventure. My name is Alex, and I'll be your host and Dungeon Master. On the Great Isle, it is a time of religious wars, imperial domination, and an ancient evil reborn. Only one crew can save the world from utter destruction. They are...
Margraine Silverbeard, Paladin of St. Eligius.
Zalara of Tremez, Wandering Elven Monk.
Magnar Skullgrim, Goliath Sorcerer.
Hebonite, the fire-kindled, wandering Flamosifer.
Alright, so who's going to recap last week's episode?
Okay, so last episode we started with Magnar and Hebonite had just gotten out of the embassy. We cut over to Margraine and Zalara. Talking to Margraine's dad, getting a bit of background on their situation, saying the council will be called together. Magnar and Hebonite ran into the inner city and got sanctuary, which stops the pursuit. And Margraine's mum was singing Totty Man, and there was a lot of talking about the different political powers inside the council and how to get them on side against the decision of the Queen. I think that covers most of what happened that week.
Okay, yeah, that pretty much covers it. We got to learn a little bit about Margraine's history and a little bit about his family. Zalara got keyed in on the Redmen who came back and what Toddy Man means as well, because she was ignorant of all that before. Mm-hmm. And so here we are still on Taut 3-6 and 18 days after the three were raised from the dead. The countdown is still going on for Magnar to find his kid. And we are going to start with Magnar and Hebonite. You just run into the inner city. You hear the guards behind you fighting with the Kalendor soldiers because the Kalendor soldiers want to arrest you. Hebonite has turned around, flipped off the Kalendor soldiers, and is running backwards into the city. What do you guys do?
So do they look like they're trying to break through it all? Or are they just kind of
they're arguing? No, I mean, they're not going to break through.
Okay.
We need to find Margraine.
We need to find the others. Do you remember the name of
Silverbeard. Their last name is Silverbeard.
That's helpful. I was going to say their dad's business or something. I know he said his dad's a business
no
or something.
idea.
Do we see anyone who might be able to help us with directions, like a prominent guard or...
Well, I mean, there are people all around. Some people looking at you maybe a little confused. There's you running around flipping somebody the birds a little bit. It was just not very dwarven, I mean, like I explained before, this is a city where they set the lighting in such a way that it shows off their dwarven, shows off the dwarven architecture and the beauty of the city. They take themselves very seriously in everything they do. So seeing this redhead dude and this giant walking through the city while one of them just flipping somebody the bird, being chased by Kalendor soldiers, you have a lot of attention at this point in time.
I'm going to look for one of the people who looks like fairly well dressed and prominent, like they might be knowledgeable. Go straight up to them and ask them, do you know where we can find the Silverbeards?
The Silverbeards, yeah, I'm sorry, who are you?
I'm a traveller. I need to find the Silverbeards.
They're one of the most predominant families in the city. Give me a persuasion roll.
That is a 12.
Okay. Well, they've got the big house. Yeah, not the biggest house, but they've got the big house there up on the 3rd tier. And that's another thing with the city. You'll notice that many of the houses seem to be built up into the inner mountain there on different tiers. The more opulent of the houses are near the top. You see there are 4 tiers total. The 3rd tier houses are huge, so it's pretty easy to figure out what they're talking about.
So when we came through the gates, were we going through the mountain or?
Yes, yeah. The gates to the inner city is in the mountain. You guys are in the mountain itself.
Okay,
yeah,
cool.
Okay, I will shake the person's hand, head towards Magnar, and I'm guessing we'll start heading our way towards that house.
The person will shake your hand and kind of look at it and wipe it quickly on his shirt and then make his way down the street. So you guys...
Thank you.
Sure. So you guys head off to the 3rd tier there.
It's like open space, right? Like I don't have to duck or anything.
Yeah.
That if we can see that high. Okay.
No. I mean, because it's like an extremely vaulted ceiling.
I'm picturing like probably it was a natural cave formation and it's been like hollowed out, made bigger. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Exactly. Cool. So yeah, you're good as far as that.
And I'll keep looking behind, make sure that, like, well, I mean, even if like the dwarven people are checking us out, like guards or something. So
okay, yeah, I mean, you guys are very conspicuous. You'll notice that there are some dwarves kind of following you around. You do have a couple of stone guard who are quite clearly following you. I mean, they're not advancing on you, but there's obviously some concern there.
Yeah, I'd assume this isn't the normal way to request sanctuary. Just keep running past the guards that just gave you it, right?
Right. This is all...
It's just like, yeah, we need you to protect us, and then go. Bye. See?
And a little behind the screen there, I mean, if they hadn't grabbed Killian to do this, the Stone Guard wouldn't have been on alert for people like this, so they're a little bit more open to it. It's not normal practice just to see strangers running in and say, we'll give you sanctuary.
That makes sense, actually. That makes a ton of sense.
Yeah. Now, their defenses are a little better than that normally.
You seem friendly enough.
Okay, so you guys make your way. Go ahead, and are you going to ask anywhere else for any more directions, or just kind of make your way to the third tier, walking around?
I guess once we get to the third tier.
Yeah, I said once we get to the third tier, we'd probably ask for it.
Okay, you guys make it there. No problem. Go ahead and give me another persuasion roll, because this is obviously odd if you're just going to grab another person off the street.
And I'll be looking for signs that say anything like Silverbeard on it. I don't know if they're a company or mining.
Okay, so you do grab someone. You don't see any of those signs, Ben. You honestly, you can't read Dwarven, can you?
No.
Okay, so I mean, there are signs and names and things everywhere. You just don't. You can't read it.
So this place is mostly Dwarven, right?
It's almost entirely Dwarven.
Okay.
Yeah, this is kind of a...
the outside is for like trading and stuff, but the inside is for dwarves.
Right.
Okay.
Right. You tell another dwarf and they tell you, oh, it's right over there. And so he directs you directly to the house. So
go up to those lovely house girls.
All right. You see Feely and Keely out there.
Hello, is this the Silverbeard residence?
Who wants to know?
We're friends of Margraine.
We'll have to check.
Okay.
Thank you.
And then either Feely or Keely runs off, and you see him talk to a dwarf in like a little tuxedo with tails. You take to be kind of a butler, and they, they're pointing at you and then
I wave.
And they kind of stop and they
shout across, we're looking for Margraine.
All right, and so from inside the house, Margraine and Zalara, you guys are in there, and then you hear somebody yell, "We're looking for Margraine!"
And I'll turn around. I'll look outside the window,
and you see, there is. You see the Goliath standing there, and then the Hibonite with his face pressed up against the fence bars, standing on it, yelling, "We're looking for Margraine!"
And I'll run up to the door and I'll be like, "Yeah, let them in. Those are my friends." Yeah. Oh.
All right. So you guys are ushered in.
Hibonite, Magnar, how did you guys get here?
We may have made things worse.
Worse?
We decided that hotel wasn't for us.
You broke out?
What? We broke out, but that orc our half orc, he helped us and he killed his own people.
Blamed us.
Wait, you killed people to get out?
No. The half orc. We were friendly as much as we could be. We may have destroyed a gate, but no people.
Oh,
almost no fire. Almost no fire.
I see.
Almost no fire? Hibonite, what did you light on fire?
No people were lit on fire.
A gate that Margraine then exploded with his shoulder.
That's an improvement, I guess.
Magnar, but thank you.
I keep forgetting, you guys are just so strong, you're just the same person.
Oh.
We're practically the same size, so...
Exactly.
Well, come inside. You have to speak to my father. Yeah.
We probably should be... Oh, we did get sanctuary by the guards.
Okay. Well, that's good at least. And Alex, is the house on like a dwarven scale? I'm trying to picture this in my head with Magnar involved.
I'm on my hands and knees.
No, Magnar has to really bend down to get in. Yeah, it is uncomfortable for you.
Okay.
So, yeah.
What a lovely home.
Well, thank you very much. Maybe if we put like 3 benches together, you could sit down.
Thank you. I can sit on the floor. That's fine.
Okay. And you see, you see Tordred, Margraine's mother, sitting there. She's still wearing the nightgown. She has her hair in a couple of kind of frazzly ponytails, except the hair sticks straight up on either side of her head. Mm-hmm. And then you see Morgraine, the father, sitting there, as I described previously. You know, he's got the salt and pepper beard, very well put together.
Pleased to meet you.
It's good to meet you as well.
You have raised a very fine young man.
Why, thank you. That's I've been hearing that a lot lately, and it makes my heart glad. So you must be the 2 troublemakers.
Yes, these are my friends.
I prefer wrongly accused, but you could go troublemakers.
Unintentional, but yes.
So, tell me what you did. What are you accused of?
Well, how far back do you want to go?
As far back as to what happened where you were accused.
I guess we can skip the first jail and death.
And Morgraine looks at you, Margraine, and is like, he raises an eyebrow when he hears that.
It's a long story. I'll get you caught up later.
Brommel's people chased me. Hibonite thought I was in danger. He attacked them in defense of myself, and then Brommel accused us of murder.
So but Brommel did ask...
You were attacking soldiers?
These guys...
No, they were prostitutes.
But Brommel did ask these guys to follow and acquire a book from a different guy who we later found was murdered by a group of Red Hands that we believe Brommel to be in charge of.
But that's not why we're accused.
But it does relate to the story, because it makes Brommel look bad.
So...
Oh, okay.
I'm very confused. Brommel has prostitutes.
That
were chasing you. And so you, and he points at Hibonite, set them on fire?
So, if we go back a little bit, we went into Castle Delacroix after we died.
Yes, I've heard that tale.
We were put in jail, we got out of jail, we then went to a meal. At the meal we met some important people, that's not important. One of them asked these guys to follow a different guy who's kind of fire and brimstone, doesn't like magic, but kind of did but didn't in the end. We were then trying to get a book from him, but it turned out he had 2 books, one real, one fake. We got the right book in the end, but then Margraine ran out of a tavern. No, MacLeod ran out of a tavern when we got to a certain town by the border. I went out after him. I made myself look like him, which I can't do anymore, but that's a different story. That then procured into a chase. The chase ended with the guy getting knocked out. I went to help my friend. My friend was coming out of a brothel with a load of people chasing him very angrily, holding clubs, knives and pitchforks, that sort of shit. And then I set fire to them, thinking they were trying to kill my friend. Not intending to kill them. Not intending to kill, more maim, scare away, and get them to leave us alone. Overdid it a little bit. It was a very intense week. We then left the town, and well, I don't think the rest of it really pertains to that story, but the guy who wanted the book did find out almost immediately and kind of accused us. We had people rounding us up the next morning, even though he was still in Castle Delacroix time. Oh, and he's coming here.
I lived it, and I didn't even follow that.
Yes.
Oh, at that point, I'll turn to Margaret. Brommel's coming here, by the way. He was going to escort us to something. Probably kill us, most likely.
I don't think that's a good thing.
That's why we escalated and got out of there, because we're pretty sure we would have died.
Does a blue rose mean anything to you?
He asked Morgraine.
Does that mean anything to me? Is that my thief back
Yeah,
there?
you would actually, Zalara, that would mean something to you.
So once upon a time, I ran around with a thieves guild in the city where Castle Delacroix
and Morgraine once again looks at Margraine like, what?
This was like 70, 80 years ago. It's been a long time. But while I was running around with my group of friends, we tried to help those who were in need. Through maybe not the best ways, but while I was there, my leader, he often talked about this group called not Blue Sapphire, it was a different name. Alex, what was it called?
It was the Sapphire Rose.
Sapphire Rose! There we go. So the Sapphire Rose was a very vicious, large group of thieves that my guy was really scared of. And if he's part of them, I guess if they're on our side, that's good.
Well, the half-orc had that tattoo. I don't know if he's on our side, but it certainly helped in this situation.
That they could have just been playing it so that us escaping was a chance for them to kill us. But him helping us get fully out would also make us look worse because we've broken out of their pretend jail. It's like a weird... He could be with us, against us, or both.
So it's been a long couple of weeks. Yes.
Yes, I'm familiar with the Sapphire Rose, at least in name, if nothing else. They are, as I understand it, something of, they deal in dark business, assassinations, do some spying for people, and I guess, yes, maybe some thievery as well. It wouldn't surprise me, but
I see.
They're said to be everywhere. Members of it are said to be they have their finger in every pie, if you will.
Does Brommel have anything to do with them?
I don't know. I wouldn't know. I don't. Other than the stories I've heard of Brommel and the trade we've had with the military, that is about the extent of my knowledge. I have never dealt with a man personally.
Well, from what we know, he isn't, as I said, everything he appears to be. We were set upon our task to follow. You've heard of him, Father Blevin. A priest of Theos.
The guy who liked magic but turned out to not like magic.
Yes.
And kind of used magic at the same time.
Yes, Brommel suspected him of doing business for the Empire, gathering information of everybody with magic ability in our country. In order to, there are these mage hunters who are taking people and killing them. Magnar's family was taken by such mage hunters. We're set upon the task of getting information that Blevin was carrying in the form of a book. We journeyed with him over many days, all of which somebody of some sort tried to kill us, including a group called the Red Hand. The Red Hand we learned from Blevin, even though he's not the most reliable of sources, but I believe him on this one point. The Red Hand are being funded, at least small enclaves of them, by Brommel. We did obtain the book that Blevin was carrying, and Magnar did take it to our contact with Brommel, but he thought that the situation was awry, so he left, and they apparently tried to follow him to capture him or kill him. That's when everything took place.
What I'm confused about is, so these prostitutes, They were trying to kill you because of the book you took. And,
yes.
And so you killed them. My question then is, why does Brommel care about prostitutes? Not that he's a bad man or doesn't have feelings, but...
Our contact was one of the prostitutes for Brommel. That's specifically who they are being charged with killing. Neither of them killed her, as far as I'm aware. It was actually the Red Hand. They tied her to a stake and burned her alive. They killed many people in the town after we left. We retook the town with the help of Grey from them. That's how we got here.
One of Brommel's men.
Yes, he let us go.
We also took back the book, which I think is what Brommel really wanted.
Yes.
So this is just a way of using the Queen's resources to track us down and see if we still have it. But we burnt that because that information was too dangerous. I set fire to it.
It seems like that would have given us some leverage at this point.
I do have, because I did show Grey the ledgers and stuff to try and prove, with Brommel. I'll show them to my dad too. These are ledgers given to me by Father Blevin. They show the money trail from Brommel to a major player in the Red Hand, Zorg.
Can I also minor illusion a page from the book? The one about myself particularly?
Oh, yeah. Go ahead. Now, does that have vocal and somatic components?
Let me just check spell. Yes, it has somatic and...
Okay, so everybody's going to notice that you're casting a spell if you do that right now.
I don't mind him casting spells.
I will use a sorcery point to get rid of the vocal part. With my meta magic.
There you go. Okay, so how does how does minor illusion work? Create an image of an object such as a chair, muddy footprints, or small chest. It must be no larger than a 5-foot cube. The image can't create sound, light, smell, or any other sensory effect. Physical interaction with the image reveals it to be an illusion because things can pass through it. So what are you doing?
I'm not trying to hide what it is. I'm just trying to make it in the air. And I'm going to say this is a page from the book, and one of the reasons I destroyed it. It pertains to myself, and I don't want that information being passed around.
I see. Okay. I understand now. I thought you were trying to take a page from the ledger or something. I was confused. Okay.
No. This is just to show him like why I destroyed it and the sort of information it had.
Oh, okay. So I mean, you don't even need to hide the magic then. I thought you're not trying to deceive them. You're just trying to show them what it looked like.
No, this is Margarine's dad. I trust him completely.
Okay. So he says, I think you both should be in jail. No, I'm joking.
What? Burning hands his face off.
No!
Great new characters, guys.
So he kills my father.
Well, I'll try to get your mum in the same triangle.
So he, all right, so he sees that. He says, all right, this is a lot. This is a tough situation. We are allies with Thelmer, and this could really put some tensions between that alliance.
Yes, I understand. You're the only person I could think of to talk to in this situation.
It was right to come to me, but... And then Alvin comes and whispers in his ear, says, all right, so we have arranged, the council will meet today. We have arranged a couple meetings for you to plead your case. I recommend that you get it a little more tight, get it a little more succinct when you're speaking with them.
Yes.
Maybe not mention previously being in jail or dying.
Yes, that does not help your case.
Yes, just to do with the deaths, Hibonite.
Yes.
Okay.
And
I'll try and be more.
Should we mention Brommel at all? Why we were there to begin with?
I think that would be fine, because it does... The curious part of this is the murder of a prostitute, and you being charged with that. That's somebody so far below the station of the Grand General of Thelmer that it makes it intriguing and confusing. So we will talk with Callie as well. I will get the actual warrant for your arrest to see what it says, make sure it stands in line with this. But you have some politicking to do, ladies and gentlemen.
It's our strong point.
I don't much care for politics, Father.
People love me.
That's actually true.
And Hibonite, in future, don't mention the us dying thing. I don't think people would react to it well.
But it's an important part of our journey together.
But not for this.
It brought us together as a group. We shared something in common. Death.
Except me.
Well, you share death in common. You could kill a few people.
True.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, Margarine's he's gonna be kind of in thought a little bit. He doesn't know the right words for all of this. It's a confusing situation. When is our first meeting, Father?
Grinder will be happy to take you soon.
Soon.
If you would like to head over to the temple, he'll be happy to speak with you.
Okay.
Now that you are here and under our care, he says to you two, Hibonite and Magnar, we can take your time. We don't have to rush through this. If there's no worry about you being executed in the night, then we can slow down a little bit. So you don't need to feel rushed. Just make sure that you are getting what you need. These are two of the most important people in all of Dernholm. If they are your allies, you will almost for sure succeed.
I think, at least for Margarine, he is in search of some guidance right now. I think he's gonna, he would know. Is the Church of Elegius, Theos, relatively close?
Yeah.
Yeah? Yeah, he'll go to the rest of the group and he'll go, I need to think about how we're going to proceed. I think I need to go pray. See if I can get some guidance on this. It's been far too long that I've prayed anyway. Yeah.
Do you need us to accompany you?
If you wish, I don't mind the company.
I'd turn to Morgraine real quick.
We had some stuff in the inn we were captured in. Could someone fetch those for us?
Yes, I'll have a runner talk with You were at the Case of Joy?
Yes.
Yes, I'll have a run and talk to Colby and see if we can get that transported here. That shouldn't be an issue.
Thank you very much.
You
really
must stay
appreciate
here.
your hospitality. Oh,
sorry, what did you say?
You must stay here. We'll have rooms set up. I don't know if we have anything for you, though, big fella. But you can squeeze in.
I'm fine anywhere. Thank you, ma'am.
All right, so is everybody going to accompany Margraine to the temple?
Yeah, why not?
I don't want to split the party anymore.
That's true. It's a good point.
Okay.
Margraine's attacked by a demon.
Right?
The priest turns into a red demon and kills Margraine. Yeah. Oh.
Okay, so you make your way to the temple of St. Eligius here in Durnholm. It's ornate and well put together. It is, you would know, Margraine, the temple where most people do worship at this point in time. However, it's not as large or as well taken care of or as ornate as the Temple of Gramash is, which is still revered to this day, even though most people don't worship there.
Okay.
So you...
On the way there, can I pull Zalara back for a second?
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
What's up?
Did you get any words with his parent? Did you find out why he thinks he's a dwarf?
Yes. So, get this. His mom was out on an adventure, and there were 2 halflings, like a couple with them, and she thinks that she gave birth to Margraine while she was on the road, and she brought him back as her own. But they have no way to prove that she's...
Oh, okay. Well, that explains a lot of things.
Yeah, I think it was mistaken identity, kind of, on Mom's part. Maybe she was tricked or enchanted, or I don't know, but they fully claim him as their son. His dad is really cool with it, actually.
Oh, so his dad knows that it's
yeah.
probably not his. Oh, okay.
His mom's super confused, but his dad knows, and he's okay with it. He still loves him anyway.
Cool. Well, that answers a lot of things.
Right? I was really confused.
Kind of want to ask more questions now, but we should really help him emotionally.
Yeah, let's just keep it on the DL. Like, we'll keep it down low, and we'll, kind of go with it. See how he progresses.
Anything else weird happened while we were escaping from jail?
Yeah, his mom also started saying that Toddy Man thing. I don't know exactly what that is, but apparently it's bad and leads to demons, is what I got.
Yeah, we heard that before. Okay. I just we should probably catch up with the others then.
Yeah.
And now Magnar's the only one out of the loop.
I'll take him aside.
I'll pull Magnar aside and catch him up because you wouldn't know the relevance of Totty Man.
There you go.
From Zalara, so.
So we'll switch spots. I'll walk by Margraine and you can walk by Hibonite.
Okay, so if nothing else happens, you guys get to the Temple of St. Eligius, coincide. Setup's pretty standard, nothing out of the ordinary there. Canton Elder is the dwarf cleric. And
so is Canton Elder? Elder is his name?
Elder,
or he's an elder?
Eldur.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Not Canton the Elder. Canton
okay.
Elder.
Hello, Father.
Margraine, good to see you again.
It's good to see you also.
So you made Paladin.
I did. I swore my oaths not too long ago.
Oh, wonderful.
Yes. Do you have any word from Kringle Falls recently?
Well, nothing really. At this point, it's the real concern is coming from the Grand Abbot. And right now, the main thing I've heard from Kringle Falls is, of course, the concern the Grand Abbot has with, I guess, the free use of magic.
Yes.
With everything that's gone on and these demon creatures running around that everyone's seen, it seems like a time for maybe the church to step in and for us to continue to protect the world in the way we know is best.
Yes, I think so. May I ask that you can get a message to Elaine and the abbot in Kringle Falls for me?
Yes,
just so they know that I made it here. I haven't been able to speak with them in some time.
Oh yes.
Yes. Right now I think I need to speak to Eligius. It's been some time, and things are very confusing. There's a lot going on.
Of course.
Yes.
cathedral's always open for you to pray.
Yeah, and thank you. And I'll go up to like the altar and I'll kneel down to start praying. And it's, you know, Margraine's like super confused right now. He doesn't know which way is up in the world. Everything's, you know, falling apart around him. So like with it, it's he's definitely speaking directly to Eligius. He knows that he's out there now. Before, like, you know, everything was a little bit kind of up in the air. There's power out there, but he didn't know what was exactly going on. But he knows directly his power comes from Eligius. He's got his armor and he's got everything, and he's confused. Like every turn there are enemies, and he feels like he's being a bad paladin of Eligius, because everybody around every corner ends up dead. Nobody seems willing to bend or to change. He hasn't changed anybody's mind that they've encountered. And he feels like he needs right now is the strength to change somebody's mind, especially these two people. It's important. Like Magnar and Hibonite depend on it. Yeah, that's kind of what's going through his head.
Okay. So are you, do you have any kind of mechanical function at this stage? I don't know, as a paladin?
No, I don't have any mechanical function, but
okay.
You know, he knows somebody's out there listening. Even if nobody speaks back, he knows that Eligius is there. Okay. You know?
Right. So you basically pray all through your confusion there.
Yeah.
While he's doing that, are you guys, you three pagans, what are you guys doing?
I'm going to sit quietly in one corner. And at one point, I'm going to cast message on Margaret. And just, it's not a bad one this time. You help those around you. You need to stop doubting yourself.
Oh, you're not going to get any response right now. He's pretty deep in thought.
Leave me alone. I'm praying to my God. God.
Get out of my room. God, I'm on the phone. Yeah.
Then I'll message the priest. How long does praying take?
And the priest messages back.
It depends on the question.
Yeah.
Fair enough. I'll sit quietly in the corner.
All right.
Going over my books.
You guys,
I want to go to the priest and
forgive me if I misunderstood, but you think the church should be in control of those who use magic?
Well, that is what our great father, the Grand Abbot, is saying.
Is that what you think?
In a time like this, it's hard to think that something that has drawn this great evil into the world should be given out willy-nilly.
But isn't there good magic being used as well?
Of course, but right now, people are being murdered and terrified, and it seems that the bad is outweighing the good. And sometimes when power is free, it can be more destructive than whenever it's harnessed and focused. For instance, you've seen lightning strike the earth randomly, take down a tree, burn it for no reason. Yet you've probably seen a sorcerer of some kind use it effectively. Maybe to strike at a bear that's attacking his family, or something of that nature. That is a harnessed energy, in the same way the church can harness the power of magic. At least that's the discussion we're having now. They're talking about having a council in Crux itself to discuss this, all the archbishops and the cardinal.
Don't you think it should be a choice?
Well,
what if they don't want to work with the church? What if they want to be left alone?
Well, no one will be left alone if these demons continue to attack the land, don't you think? It is a tough question. I'm conflicting on it myself.
If they are forced, I think they will turn against whoever is forcing them.
That is a concern, and it's something we're thinking about.
At least you think about it. Thank you.
Hibonite just looks really annoyed in the corner now.
Solara's walking around looking at everything. Is there anything particularly interesting?
I mean, you see the battle of Saint Eligius and his death and ascension. It's painted on the walls, much like you would see in a Catholic church, the Stations of the Cross. In this, he's fighting except you see him fighting a great kind of a black dragon at one point, which eventually pierces his heart. And then there's like an angelic form of him fighting the dragon and then ascending into the clouds.
Interesting. I don't know if I would have been in the Palace of St. Eligius before, so...
Yeah.
Or temple, whatever.
Yeah, and it's... one thing you wouldn't notice, but it's more ornate, because it's still got that dwarven craftsmanship to it than most places. It's very beautiful.
It's pretty.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right, anything else you guys want to do here in this church?
Nope, he just wanted to pray, hopefully get his mind straight,
So, you guys head to the Temple of Grommash then to speak with Grinder Frostforge, is that correct?
I think that's the first
That was the next
thing
stop,
of business, yeah.
Okay. You go to the temple, and it is actually down at the lowest level, being one of the first things built. And it is huge. It is like 3 of the temples of St. Eligius. And it is, like I said, extremely ornate, extremely beautiful. You can tell it's probably the best kept building in the whole city. I mean, just like extremely clean. As you arrive, you'll notice that there are some people dressed in the traditional robes of the acolytes of Grommash, which is something that you would know, Margraine.
Okay.
And they're standing in a circle and singing toddy man come, toddy man come, over and over again, as it's though some kind of mantra. So you don't see Grinder out there, but you just see someone.
Is there anybody out there who's not singing with them but looks like they're there?
I don't understand what you mean.
Like okay, I'm not going to interrupt them singing, but is there anyone that I could talk to, like ask about it? Just there, like what are they singing? You know, what's the song about? Because I'm assuming he's never heard it from like the church, like that church before, right? Grommash?
No. And you don't see anyone around at this point.
Well, I'll go look for Grinder then. I'll enter. I'll go looking for him.
Okay.
Hibonite will walk up to them.
Who are you walking up to, Hibonite?
The guy singing Totty Man.
Okay, you walk up to that circle. You guys see as Margraine is going toward the door, Hibonite is going toward that circle.
Hibonite, what are you doing?
That song was sung before. I want to know what it's about.
Is it good to interrupt them, though? It might be some kind of, I don't know, religious chant thing.
Yeah, religions like that sort of thing, don't they? And I'll grab a person on the shoulder and ask them, can I ask you a question?
And the person stopped singing and was like, what?
What's that song about, Totty Man?
It's about Taramon, the great...
Why do you sing it?
We're chanting for the great over god, the first god.
And why?
Because this land is fallen into darkness, and Grommash has led us to Tatamon, the god of Grommash, the first god.
And what are you hoping this Totty Man will do?
Bless us. Take the demons from this land.
Convert them?
I'm sorry. I need to get back to this. Please excuse me.
Is there someone else I can ask for more information?
Speak with Grommash. Speak with Grinder.
Don't want to piss him off.
Play nice,
Thank
Hibonite.
I think the guy goes back to chanting. All right, so you guys go in, and even the front doors, though they're tall, are only about 8 feet tall for this. This is an older building, obviously built without non-dwarves in mind at all. So it doesn't have that accommodation. So it's, like I said, the door is only about 8 feet tall total. So you got to duck your head a little bit to get through, Magnar. All right, you guys enter, and you see that Grinder is sitting there. He's kneeling, and he's chanting the same chant. He's an older dwarf. His beard is gone from gray to completely white, so is his hair. He wears the same robes, but a little bit more ornate than the acolytes did. He does have a hammer that looks extremely ornate and probably more ceremonial than anything. That's laying right in front of him, and it's almost as if it's in a kind of ritualized position. And he has a couple of books laid out, opened up. Now, the other thing is that there seems to be you can't see into the temple itself. There's normally, you would know this, Margaret, there's normally a beautiful vestibule in there that you could see right away, and you can't see it at all. It's actually been blocked off. Like some quick masonry was done, and it's obviously not permanent, but it's done blocking off to just a small, maybe 10 by 10 room that Grinder is sitting there, and he's praying. And he looks up and sees you and says,
Margraine.
Hello, Grinder. Nice to see you.
It's a joy to see you as well.
Yes.
I see you've brought some interesting friends and some that have created a ruckus already.
Yes, news travels quickly. This is Hibonite, the fire kindled, and this is my friend Magnar and Zalara.
Nice to meet you.
It is a pleasure to meet you as well.
Yes. I'm here to speak with you on that matter. But first, you guys have a new chant. I've never heard it before.
And his eyes light up. He said,
Oh, yes, I have found something amazing. Grommash led me to it.
and he holds up this book that's It's got a symbol on the front that's similar to what you guys have seen before when you've pulled him out of the chest of the shaman.
Mm-hmm.
It's more ornate. It's a thicker book.
Mm-hmm.
And he said,
Yes, I was praying just a month ago, right there,
and he points back to basically like through the masonry.
At the altar, and I felt a great rumbling. The whole earth shook, and I fell down, and I explored this whole other cathedral beneath our cathedral, even older than where we are right now. And in there were some great dangers. But I found this book and was able to get out, and it holds a deeper knowledge than anything we had known before. And Gramish had led me right to it. It shows me the revelation of Tat Iman, the first god, the living plane of existence.
Yes, it seems there's a lot of power awakening in the world. Stuff from even before the world was swallowed.
Yes, exactly. You understand. So an older truth must be a more powerful truth, don't you agree? And with that, Gramish has led me to him. To it, whatever this divine being is, and we're hoping that we can summon him, or at least an avatar of his power, maybe through Gramish himself, to return and help smite these demons in our land. People will see the way that the old gods are true again, and they will rise up. I know you're a follower of this new god, but there can be a time where you can see the truth as well. The old gods will live again, maybe in harmony with your new god.
Yes, I believe in the power of Theos, but that does not mean I do not believe that the old gods do not exist. I've seen such power myself. I feel the demons upon the land have been changed by one of them. But tell me, this power was gone from the world. There must have been a reason. There must have been some reason why it was locked away. With this new awakening of power, all I've seen is death and destruction and men changed for the worst.
And that is because they are not doing it through the prism of the old gods. They think they can take it on themselves or put it on this young god Theos. And in doing so, they're letting destruction run rampant.
Can I see that book?
You want to see the book?
And he becomes a little bit possessive of it.
I'm sorry, I do not know you.
We also have come into possession of old magics. How about you read into that while he reads yours?
Give me a persuasion check. It's going to be pretty high. DC 20.
Would I still have those books, or they'd still be in the
they're still in the inn.
Because I'd have been reading them in the other place otherwise.
Yeah. Oh, okay. An 11 is my persuasion check, so I'm assuming it's not going to convince him.
I want to say, I believe I've seen a book that looks almost identical to that before, and it didn't come from a good place. And I just want to put my mind to rest that yours is of good and not evil. It will not leave your sight, and you will be in arm's reach of it at all times.
Go ahead and give me a persuasion check. You got to do it at disadvantage, though, because he doesn't know you at all. DC 20.
12.
I am sorry, dear sir. I don't know you. You are a stranger to this land and quite frankly not a dwarf. Also, what I do know of you is that you bring trouble with you. So, forgive me, but I cannot, in good conscience, give you this great artifact.
Does your book mention men of dirt, man of thought, pleasing mother?
Man of thought?
Mainly man of...
No.
Man of thought and pleasing mother with frequency.
No, this has nothing of that.
Does the name Murat Hall mean anything to you?
And he looks at you with kind of squints a little bit.
The name is mentioned in here as as an avatar.
An avatar of what?
Of Tartaman.
I see. I find it interesting as I feel that the demons we fought, they've all contained knowledge of this Murat Hall. I feel they're followers of his ways.
I cannot speak to that.
Well, back to our original business. I appreciate it. I always appreciate learning new things, especially now in this time. I think knowledge of the old gods is more valuable than ever.
I couldn't agree more.
But tell me, you seem to have already formed an opinion on my two friends here. I feel that might be unfounded on many people's part. There's great power at work, and they actually, like you, don't follow the new god, don't follow Theos. And they have great powers working against them. We have Brommel, the general, he's taken a dislike to my friends and wishes to silence whatever they might say. And I feel like your help, your word on the matter of this might be rather helpful in keeping them alive, and because I think that Brommel would for surely kill them once he gets them.
What gods do you follow?
Ulfur. Do you know of him?
I do. I did not know any of his followers still existed. Yes, he lived in the time of Grommash as well, one of the first gods. And you...
He is very powerful.
Yes. And you, Red Man.
Hippolyte snaps to it. He's been very anxious at this point, like deep in thought. And he was I follow the primordial fire.
Very interesting.
All right, Sam, what you're going to do now is give me a persuasion check.
Okay.
Go ahead and you'll get it at advantage because of them talking about being with the old gods.
Yeah, I thought that was the way to get to him.
Good
wow,
thinking.
15 with advantage. Really? Wow, okay.
Well, there are concerns, obviously.
Yes.
We don't want to go to war with them. We don't want to lose their business. We need their protection. They keep the Empire out.
I agree.
However, one good favor, a favor can be given for another good favor, don't you think?
I do, I agree. What do you ask of me?
There was a chamber beneath the cathedral I couldn't quite get to.
Is it of secrets?
Yes, a basilisk roams through there.
Let me get my polyjuice.
Inside you will find a goblet of fire.
All right.
Sorry.
Okay.
There is a chamber.
I'm sorry, what were you saying, Ryan?
I'm hearing on him talking about this stuff. I'll be subtle spell messaging Margaret, saying we need to do this by helping him. There's bad down there.
Okay.
There is this chamber I couldn't reach. And unfortunately, there are some creatures who have inhabited the cathedral. They do not want us to find the truth, but I know that the truth will be found down there. There's a gem we must get to and read this incantation.
And he shows it up, holds it up, and it shows you. And it is written actually in Abyssal, but as everybody looks at it, you start reading it in your native language. It's like the words kind of start in Abyssal and then form. And you see that it is a incantation to bring forth protection of the old men.
Of the old men?
Yes. Okay. So,
he says, if you can make it down there and read this incantation, there should be a power that harnesses the power of Tat Aman. Bring that back with you, and we can definitely help your friends out here.
I see.
In these sort of rituals, usually you need the incantation. I don't want us to get it wrong. Could we take the book with us?
You want that book so bad.
It only seems right. Yes, I will give it to you. It is the only thing.
I'll graciously accept it off him.
Now, if anything happens to this book, our deal is off. If I do not get it back in the same condition, our deal is off.
I see.
Even if you complete everything else.
I understand.
Do we really need this book that badly?
Yes.
I'm not going to try and convince him otherwise. I think he knows more about this stuff than I do, so I'm going to take it on good faith that Hibonite knows what he's doing. Just a bad idea. But, okay. Oh, what do all of you think? Should we do this?
Yes.
Okay.
It sounds like
Sidebar.
we don't have a choice.
Oh.
Can we sidebar real quick?
Yes, sidebar. Yeah.
Sidebar.
Sidebar.
Throwing it back. Oh, geez.
yeah, it's been almost 20 episodes since the sidebar.
I know.
Oh, such a good episode.
What's your concern, Magnar?
I do not know if this Tatuman is good or evil. Perhaps trying to bring him back will just make things worse.
I agree, but
We could just run. There has to be a way out.
For reasons I can't explain while prying ears may be around, we need to go down there. When we are down there, I will explain everything I have learned from the other books.
I see.
I believe this is a bigger threat than even Brommel poses to us.
Tataman's a bigger threat? Or there's another threat that's not Tataman?
I think part of this chamber below could cause to the fall of Durham.
The what?
The place we're in, Durham. Am I saying that right?
Durnholm?
Yeah.
Durholm, yeah.
That's the one.
The fall of Durnholm?
Yeah, like, you know, they lose it.
I see.
If we don't go down there.
Yeah. I'll explain when we're down there.
Okay.
Very well.
I'll trust your judgment, Hibonite. I don't know. I think it's rough. The pursuit of knowledge versus the unknown is interesting.
When we're away from our friend nearby, I will tell you my full beliefs, but I don't want to.
Okay. I will
tip him off.
I will trust you on this. You've earned it.
And I'll go back to the priest and try and reassure him that I'll turn the book with no damage.
Give me a persuasion roll.
Come on, +6 work. That's an 11, but I still have disadvantage click. But the first roll was 11.
Well,
Or we can take the 21 if you prefer.
either way, he says,
All right, I trust you with this. I could hear some of what you were saying, and you seem a man of history and of letters. I appreciate that.
and he stands up.
Do we have an agreement?
I believe we do.
Yes, we will go down there.
All right, and he turns and places his hand on two distinct stones on the masonry, which slide open, and you see this gigantic marble vestibule. Extremely tall, high vaulted ceilings, very thick pillars, and a beautiful marble floor. And you hear some voices coming through. I need each one of you to give me a wisdom save.
Okay.
So good at these.
We haven't even gotten
Critical
in the dungeon
fail.
yet.
22?
2.
That's a 5.
Okay,
Crit fail.
so we're going to have all of you who, well, we've got Hibonite with a critical failure of a 3, Margraine with a 22, Magnar with a 2, and Zalara with a critical fail that ends up at 5. So everybody but Margraine is going to have to give me a roll on the insanity table next time.
Oh,
We'll
boy.
end it right there.
Oh my gosh.
Thanks for listening to episode 24 of Beholder's Eye, Old Gods. Be sure to check out the podcast, The Service Desk. Our own Kim Metzger and her co-host Andrew tackle questions on technology from Facebook to passwords to malware. They put the cookies on the lower shelf for those of us who are lost in this William Gibson-esque world. Subscribe today. Once again, that is The Service Desk. Please subscribe and review Beholder's Eye on Apple Podcasts, Stitcher, Google Play, or whatever podcast app you use. Be sure to leave us a 5-star review and we will read it on the air. Check us out on Twitter at Beholder's Eye Pod and our website beholderseyecast.com. You can follow Ryan, who plays Hibonite, at DuffDuff3rd, Ben, who plays Magnar, at Miro4D2, Kim, who plays Zalara, at Metzgirl, and Sam, who plays Margraine, at Samsalot007. All music by Incompetech. Heart of Nowhere, The Path of the Goblin King version 2, This House, Magic Forest, Teller of Tales, Epic Unease, Curse of the Scarab, and Our Journey Begins, all by Kevin MacLeod, Incompetech.com. Licensed under Creative Commons by Attribution 3.0 license. creativecommons.org/licenses/by/3.0/. All sound effects by Zapsplat.com. Please check the show notes for more details. Editing performed by Sam Canary. Music and effects editing by Benjamin Floyd. Thanks, and we'll see you next week.